Welcome everybody to Scarves and Spikes conference semifinal lineups. I'm excited, guys. It's early. It feels like it's way too early for a game. I realized it was 2:00 and I hadn't showered yet, so I had to run real quick to look presentable for this. How's it going?
Gotta look your best for these things, man. Which you both look fine. So
yeah, I got my my Ted Lasso shirt that the Battered Herons gave me, so I'm ready. I'm ready to do a shocker. Right, we've already seen two this weekend. Yesterday was I don't know if the New York one was a surprising result, but Seattle. What a game. I didn't turn it on until about the 85th minute, so I can't say too much about watching much of it, but I got the best part of it, I think.
These entire playoffs have been shockers. Like Columbus Columbus and Miami out in the first round. Like it's just upset after upset, and it's like you don't really know, like anything could happen at this point. And I think that's what makes MLS exciting.
Yeah, 100%.
What does that say about LAFC though? I mean, what does that say about Seattle? Really, kind of. So they equalized, fortunately, the own goal, and then Morris in extra time, and that's all she wrote for LAFC. So the Zombie Sounders, I guess, doing it again, and then they just got kind of spicy, didn't they, after Red Bull's NYCFC over there at City Field. So that's still some appealing matchups, and of course, winner of this one takes on Red Bulls at Red Bull Arena. So we all know what happened last time Atlanta United played there. Almost came away with win, but you got to be Orlando first. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Got to be Atlanta first to get to Red Bulls. So hopefully that happens this afternoon.
100%. I'm looking for the lineups here. They're going to be out, but
it's already out.
I'm trying to pull it up. That's what I'm saying. But Sydney, how long have you been in the car?
So I've been in the car, I think about 5.5 hours or something like that, more or less. As we kind of wait on Tyler here, I don't know if you guys want to send the link out to him, but yeah, we've been in the car like more or less about 5.5 hours. We're still got like 5.5 to go. So yeah, things are going good so far, and we are trucking along. It's Tyler Joyce from Orlando.
I am indeed. Are you you look like you're passengering right now.
Yes, I'm not talented enough, or do I want to run the risk of driving and streaming at the same time? So
good for you, being responsible.
My fiance is driving, and yes, absolutely. So how are you feeling about today?
I feel good. I feel kind of the same way I have the past few games. Like it's been this whatever wave that they found, and they're riding it well, right? And they just got to keep going. They've done it down here one time. Just got to go do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you got more belief this time going into this one than you did last time. I mean, you just beat Messi and company, right? You just got to go and keep the vibe and do exactly what you were doing before.
No, absolutely. And yeah, you said it yourself. I mean, even though this is a different Orlando team that we saw toward the end of the regular season, actually during the beginning of the season, turn things on. Really, like we talked about Wednesday, didn't get the best account of themselves against Charlotte. So maybe you have an opportunity there to exploit some of their weaknesses. Henry, you talked about maybe they're a little bit lacking in attack. You've specifically called out Ramiro Enrique, players like that. So we'll have to take a look to see what Orlando brings. And like I said on Wednesday, the gulf in class between these two sides, I don't think it's as big as some people would make it out to be. So really looking forward to this match. Really looking forward to see if Atlanta can keep this run going for at least another week. We don't know what day they'll play if they advance. We don't know what day they'll play yet, but hopefully they live another day.
It's Saturday. If they win, it's Saturday. That's what my Conti tweeted yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Well, let's see what we've got going on here.
Interesting.
Yeah, so go for it. What you got? I don't interrupt.
All right. So, I mean, if we're looking at we're trusting what the picture says, which we don't do very often, right? Tiara and Miranchuk up front. You got Fortune and Sleesh. Amador, Saba, McCarty, Abram, Williams, and Gregerson. So, I mean, great to see Gregerson, right? Starting. Healthy, obviously, and then of course you got Breguzan. I mean, his face is growling at you as you look at this picture, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really know if you have to bring him up. But Fortune, I ask you this question. I know Miamba was looking pretty good in the last game there, but if you had the choice, would you be doing Fortune or Miamba?
So before I get into that, I just want to kind of call out real quick. So this is similar, I think, to Game 3 between Atlanta and Miami. I said Amador to have the positional freedom to move back and make this a true, I would say, a true back four, if you could call it that. Obviously, that kind of doesn't account for Gregerson he's a true center back, not a right back, but you'll see some positional maneuvering between this back line. I am a little surprised that Ronnie Hernandez is not starting at this one, although you have the option to bring him in if you want to later on in the match. Um, Going to your question about Fortune, you know, he he's been in, yeah, again, he's your future at midfielder. He's done well for himself, more than well, at these matches that he's appeared, as he's kind of usurped Muyumba on the depth chart. To kind of answer your question, though, Tommy, I think I do prefer Jay Fortune in this match. I feel like this kind of favors him more. He's a little bit more attack-minded than perhaps Muyumba is. We'll certainly see Muyumba later on in the match, I'm sure, in the 60th minute, 75th minute, what have you. But yeah, I just think this is a match for Fortune more than it is Muyumba. Now, depending on what happens in the second half, if you have the chase, you have to defend that could chase the calculus there as far as times are concerned. But long answer to what you just asked me. So
I forgot what the question I asked you by now.
essentially,
I'm joking.
Okay.
Henry, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting lineup considering, the last two times you played Orlando, including Decision Day, you went with a back four. Obviously, those two times you had Brooks, and now you don't have him. And so you got to adjust for that. You're going to, again, with Saba as the right wing back. But to me, the most interesting matchup is going to be Amador and Abram against Facu Torres. Facu is Orlando's, most productive player, 14 goals, six assists on the season. Fun fact, is also their historic top goal scorer. So yeah, you just got to try to kind of mitigate that danger there. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they match up. Also going to seeing McCarty again starting, that I think that's the smart choice. I think McCarty has shown that he can do that and he can give you so much, not just in defensive coverage with his experience there, but also his quick playing of the ball, his incisive passing. Because his first couple of goals, the first couple of goals against Miami in Game 3, those were because of him, because he was alert, because he played the pass right. And so you're going to see some more of that. And hopefully that back three allows your wing backs, Saba and Amador, more freedom to go forward and kind of add to that attack that you're trying to build. And hopefully with one of those big counterattacks that you create, you give Orlando a couple surprises, you hit them early, just like in on Decision Day, and then you're able to ride out the rest of the game. Let's see how that plays out.
Can I just say real quick, you have to be careful with Facu Torres, because if you say that the wrong way, it sounds like you say something else. just in general.
Thank God we have a native Spanish speaker here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
Right.
I think kind of hitting on the point, Henry, that you made. That was kind of where I was going with it as well. Weirdly enough, the offense for Atlanta has kind of, I don't want to say revolved around Pedro Amador, but he has been one of the best offensive players in the playoffs by far. And you see what happens when he has time and space. He puts these balls on a dime. He did it to Orlando. He did it to Miami. He did it to Red Bulls. I mean, they found kind of a secret sauce with him. But I kind of feel like this is Rob Valentino's way of playing chess a little bit, because unless Orlando's scouting department is just completely inept, then they've seen what he does and what's going on with him. So you have to give him a little bit of backup of there. So I think moving to a back three allows you a minute to let Luis Abram kind of have a say back there, let Pedro Amador get up higher, and then you also have the added benefit of helping deal with Facu Torres as well. So it'll be interesting. But I think it also leaves you the opportunity, if you need to make changes and go back to a back four, you can bring in Ronald, maybe swap Steon out if he needs a rest because of the injuries, and then you can change it up a little bit.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it looks like Orlando dropped their lineup as well. Sorry, Tommy. I was going to say it looks like Orlando dropped their lineup as well. So I don't know if you want
Well, let me see if I could do it. My normal Twitter app isn't working.
Is starting.
The parade just came through, the supporters march. I don't know if y'all heard. I'm sure you did. All that in the background. You see the purpley white smoke floating behind me. But while you do pull it up, Atlanta's got a good crowd here. Yeah. They have a couple of buses come down. One of them broke down, and I don't know what its status is, but tons of people just on the road, and that's not to mention all the ones that flew in. But they're gonna have a good crowd here today, for sure.
Hopefully, that's not a bad omen or anything like that. Hopefully. So, I'm kind of sticking with my. There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm kind of sticking with my 2-1 prediction for this match. 2-1 Atlanta. I think they score first. They open the scoring. I think maybe Orlando scores to equalize it. Then I feel Atlanta wins it in the second half. Still thinking with Shawnee Silva to get the match winner for Atlanta. So
jumping on my X Factor pick, eh?
Hey, I'm riding the same bus you are, my friend.
It looks like there's a great turnout there. I mean, Tyler, I saw Mike Conti post that picture. It's exciting. I saw the Terminus bus. I saw some pictures from there. They've been drinking since since I've woke up this morning, basically. So I'm sure they're ready to be loud here. But we talked about rivalries, right? Building rivalries, and one of our biggest rivals early on was the Red Bulls, right? Because you couldn't beat them. You always had these competitive games. Orlando was there, but then it was just we were beating Orlando so much. Are they really a rival? And then new teams start coming in the league, and really you just still haven't established a full-on rivalry with anyone here. Who knows what happens today? Who knows if this game gets spicy or not? But this could be a situation where this renews this rivalry going into the next couple of years, right? If this gets chippy, right, or this possibly goes past the 90 minutes, what happens here? I'm excited. The last time we played these guys in a must-win game, right, was the Open Cup.
Open Cup 2022.
And things turned out pretty well in that game, right?
Yeah. I'll ask you guys this real quick. If this match goes into penalties, do you feel that favors Atlanta or Orlando? I have to say, it favors Orlando. I mean, you're playing at home. You have the crowd on your side, and the way you're kind of used to playing at penalties because you had to do it twice, in the last series. Granted, you split them. Of course, the one that mattered, you won. So I think the onus is on Atlanta to win this game in regulation, or I want to say in regulation, or win it in extra time. Regulation, obviously, so you don't have to sweat through extra time. But on this, really on Atlanta United, keep this out of penalties. I think you don't want to get a situation where you're going against not just Orlando but the crowd in the penalty shootout. Granted, you're going against the crowd, outside of a penalty shootout and regulation, but yeah, I think that's key for Atlanta United to gather that confidence that they've had and end this in regulation time in the 90 minutes.
I actually think it kind of favors Atlanta only because I guess being the underdog kind of has its benefits in that nobody really expects much out of you. I mean, you may have lost a little bit of that because you beat Miami, but you're still the least favored team to go forward and do anything. I mean, look at the betting odds, look at all that. The fact that they came down here and did it once, obviously not penalties, but they did it once, but they did go to penalties in Montreal. And what did they say about Montreal? We want to take this penalty shootout in front of their fans. That should tell you a lot about how much they're comfortable, kind of being in the position they are, which is the least favorite, And I just think there's something to be said about it, and maybe that vibe that Rob has kind of pushed on the team. We'll see, but I'm excited. I don't think it goes to penalties personally. I was going to say 2-1 if I wasn't there Wednesday. I think it'll be 2-1 Atlanta, but I just don't think it's going to make it to penalties. Maybe like a Seattle situation from last night.
Yeah.
So, something I just want to add real quick, and we'll obviously talk about this tomorrow, right? Is that there was a Garth Lagerwey interview on 92.9 on Dukes and Bell, and Dukes and Bell were pushing very hard for Rob to be, what's taken so long to be the manager, and we'll put the quotes up tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it, but the way I personally took it was this isn't Rob's job now, right? But if he keeps winning, there's a very good chance. So if you're a Rob, Team Rob here,
apologist.
Yeah, well, Team Rob. I mean, I think that right now, I mean, if he's out in this round, he's not the manager here, right? So he's obviously playing for a job, and who knows if that's even getting to, then if it's losing next week. But the quote I think Garth had was Atlanta United doesn't like to take chances, and I know people laughed at that, but this is a new Atlanta United, right? A new version of it. And I think that's where a lot of us have been, though, too, right? Is that they're looking for more of a proven type manager going forward. However,
Jim Curtin. Sorry.
Right. However, I think that they're looking for a guy here to stabilize the team. But with Rob, I mean, if he wins it all, you've got to absolutely go for it, right? You have to give him the job. But that's possibly a tomorrow conversation. That's possibly a next Sunday conversation, or it's going even farther, and we're talking about this into the second week of December.
Yeah.
Well, Golf basically said that, though, right? He said if he wins it all, then the decision's made, right? It's an easy decision for him because there's only one option. If he wins it all, I mean, that's almost career suicide to go and then fire the coach that won you the cup. But I understand a little bit of hesitancy, anything before that. I do. I honestly think he gets it personally, but that's just me. Today's big deal.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it, to be honest. After that conversation there, I think it's win it all or nothing. That's just my. I mean, obviously, you got to see what happens in the conference finals too, and then how the game ends, right? In MLS Cup, let's just say they get to MLS Cup and they lose in penalties. Are you not letting the guy? You're not giving the guy the job after a team loses in penalties. You know what I mean? But he gets you there. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting here. And then after this, we've obviously got our other matchup with the Galaxy in Minnesota, and things could get crazier, right? If Atlanta wins and Minnesota gets there, it's all screwed up, right? It's all screwed up because right now you look
MLS
at it.
Cup in the snow, perhaps.
Yeah, right. That would be awesome. Right now, it's the Galaxy's. In my opinion, it's the Galaxy's MLS Cup to lose at this point, right? And but it's a great story with the Galaxy, right? I mean, they really built themselves up very quickly, and I have put themselves in this situation. So I look at the Galaxy and say that this could be us, right? We've got enough room and enough change, a new manager coming through. Obviously, they have a chance to, no matter what happens today, next season, have a huge run. So, closing thoughts, guys?
FEA.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's this game. It could go either way. Like at this point, I don't really even know what to expect from the playoffs. But I do think that you know Atlanta's not the favorite, and they're never gonna be in these playoffs. But I think that they do have a strong chance here against Orlando. They've beaten them twice. They beat them on decision day when they were going in with pretty much everything. So yeah, no, I think this is a game that they can definitely win, but it has to take 100% concentration. It needs to take 100%. The players wanting it, and they wanted the series against Miami. They wanted it really bad, and they got it. And they've got to want this the same amount, even more. I'd say. So it's going to come down to that. No silly mistakes. Don't do what you did on decision day where you went up by 2 and then you concede a goal and then you concede another and then it's like, oh, but then that goal gets taken off. Fortunately, don't have that happen. Don't lose the momentum, basically.
Yeah, if you gain the momentum in Orlando, right, you gotta take their fans out of it. It's gonna be crazy. I know I thought I heard that they sold out their, what is it called, the Wall or something.
Yeah.
They said it hadn't been sold out in a while, which kind of shocks me because I mean they've been doing pretty well, especially since Leagues Cup. So I will always say, and all offense to Miami fans of any sport, they will only come if they're winning, right? They'll only show up if they're winning, and especially if it's playoffs, they'll show up. So hopefully, Orlando fans, you'll have nothing to show up to next week, and you could just stay at home and go to Disney and have your bath salts.
Hey,
And
if
move
they
on from
win,
there.
if Atlanta wins, then they're just going to have to buy a second house down here because they just keep coming back down here. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The amount of travel I've had to do for this team, and I'm so grateful for it. Don't get me wrong. But this is insane. This is crazy, and yeah, I hope Orlando has nothing to look forward to after 6 o'clock, 6:30 tonight. That is my
Yeah.
wish.
So after the game, we'll be recording our. Is it 3 takes? 3 takes, right? Or 5 takes? I don't
Yep.
know how many takes. I
3
never
takes.
show up, so I can't count.
3
That's how many
takeaways.
takes you guys do. 3 takeaways. Twitter Spaces. Join us afterwards. Orlando fans, if you want to hop on, you can hop on. We could talk about your loss. It'll be fun. And until then, enjoy the next half hour before the game starts, and we'll talk to you afterwards.
Uncle Arthur's down here. He's hanging out right here behind the camera. So
Who's that?
Uncle Arthur's in the house. Arthur Blank.
Oh, do the Arthur Blank dance to him. Just see what happens.
I'm not doing that.
All right. Well, tell him I said
He's got like an
tell him I said hello.
entourage. I'm definitely not going to do that. I might get thrown off his balcony back here.
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right, guys. Have
I'll
a
be
fun
live
match.
tweeting, so make sure you follow us. See y'all.
All right. See y'all.